Hey there, Life Group fam. So excited. Just this last month, we have gotten so many incredible stories about what Jesus is doing in your groups, in your lives personally. And so just keep on sending those over. We love to hear them. We love to get the chance to celebrate them. We've had several groups branch over this last month, and so that has been going incredibly well. We're super excited. I know that there are a lot of other groups that are getting larger. We know that healthy things branch. And so as you grow, we're gonna go ahead and start making those branches happen. We've got one group that is preparing to do that. And the way that they're doing that is actually they're meeting together as a large group, and then they're storying together, and then they're gonna go ahead and branch from there. And so they've got leaders that they've raised up, and they're actually branching those groups midnight, and then they're touching back together at the end. Super exciting, love hearing it. Keep sending those stories.
And as we are halfway through our winter/spring semester, I want you guys, if you guys have not planned an outing or a barbecue or a movie night with your group, we'd love to encourage you guys to do something outside the group as a group. Again, we hope that small group goes beyond just the home that you guys meet in, and that you guys can spend time, invite neighbors, go to a movie, spend time with each other's families. One cool opportunity to do that as a group would be our Backwater Slam that is coming up March 24th on Saturday night. There's a banquet with a silent auction and great food. A lot of our small groups come out to that. You guys can get tickets to that and reserve a table for your small group at Next Steps on Sunday. We'd love to see you guys there. And if it's not that, please do something. We'd love for you guys to get outside the group, get outside the walls of your home, invite neighbors into it, and continue to live sent as a group. Last month, we talked about talking through some topics to help us become better disciple makers. The goal for small group and facilitating is not to be a better facilitator, it's to be the best disciple maker that we can. And so if small group does not lead to discipling relationships, I think we're gonna miss the target. And so if we are gonna do that and be better disciple makers together, then we've gotta really embody 3 different topics. The first is we've gotta know what it looks like to be an intentional leader. The second, we have to be able to understand and know how to create relational environments with our groups. The third is that we have to understand and be able to pass on the reproducible process. And so I want to talk today, this month, about what does it look like to be an intentional leader. A lot of times I'm getting with you guys and kind of talking about your groups, and one of the things that I hear a lot is the frustration that my group is not going deep. They're not sharing honestly, they're not risking. And the first question I usually ask is, how deep are you sharing as the intentional leader? So I know for me, whatever team I'm with, I'm probably only gonna share as deep as the leader who's leading the charge. And so if you guys are not willing to risk, I don't think your group is gonna feel comfortable willing to risk, because you're not modeling what you want repeated. And so you guys have to be willing to risk and model what is going on in your life, that we're real, we all sin, and we all fall short of the glory of God. And so model that and choose to risk in front of your people, and see if your people don't jump and rise to the occasion. So I was watching this movie, Hercules, and there's a scene where Hercules is bleeding, and they pointed out like, hey, you're bleeding. And he covers it up because he says, man, never let him see you bleed. And I think this is the opposite of what the gospel models. When I see Jesus on a cross bleeding for you and for me so that we can spend eternity with him, I don't think it was a tragedy. I think it was a strategy that he's modeling and saying, we need to bleed in front of our people. We need to model that we all fall short and we all need Jesus. And at the foot of the cross, we are all equal. And so we've got to be intentional to model that as leaders for our people to see. And so I want you guys this next month, choose to be bold and to risk in front of your people and share where you're falling short, because it only elevates God and his glory. And so do that with your groups this week and see if your group doesn't rise to the occasion and really share vulnerably and have a depth that your group has never had before.
We say all the time that 60% of group happens outside of group. And so the goal isn't just to be great facilitators, as Matt said, but to go out and be disciple makers that love and live like Jesus. And so an intentional leader is something that applies to people that I am walking beside. I remember talking to one of my life group leaders, and she was really wrestling through, really struggling with being vulnerable and honest about where she is with the people that she's walking beside. And one of the things that I responded and kind of shared with her is, if I am hiding the struggles that I have with the people that I'm called to disciple, if I'm not being vulnerable and honest with them, I'm robbing them of opportunities to see what it looks like for a godly man to struggle. Because I know that as I am walking beside Jesus, there are going to be waves, and the world is constantly going to ask me to look at those waves and take my eyes off of Him. But I want them to see what it looks like to fight through that and to press into Jesus through those waves.
So thank you so much. Thank you guys for being an intentional leader inside your group and outside your group. We want to hear stories of how you guys are doing that. We learn from you guys, and so please share stories of what it's been like for you guys to be an intentional leader. Share your struggles, share your wins. We'd love to come walk beside you as much as we possibly can. So reach out. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me or to Josh, and we are here for you guys. Thank you so much for living sent and living on mission every day. We love you.